Hi everyone, this is Bridget from the PlannerSpeechie. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be planning for the week of November 4th through the 10th, 2024 in my City Stickers vertical planner. I'm going to be using this kit from Scribble Prints Co. called Making History. I actually already did a lay down the base video for this particular week, and you could check it out. I'll leave it in the cards above to see a more in-depth version of this lay down. I did decide to kind of go through it briefly here at the beginning just for cohesiveness in case anyone decided not to watch the first video and just wanted like a typical plan with me. So here you go. This is the second time I'm using this kit, and so I had a couple of leftovers and I wanted to use them again, and I actually did make really good use of them this week. So here we go. And that was just the Scribble Prints Co. things. Now I did have a custom made from Hannah for the full boxes, A Woman's Place is in the White House, and The Young Are at the Gates. That quote is from Suffs. So I thought these would be um, helpful to have in my planner, particularly The Young Are at the Gates. I felt like was a nice homage to the musical Suffs. If you haven't seen it or heard the music, please go check it out. It's really good. And my friend is starring in it on Broadway right now. So I'm really proud of her and happy for her, and she just got a Grammy nomination, so woohoo! But anyway, go check that out. The other foil I'm using this week, I had a foil icons sheet from Scribble Prints Co. I think it's like glitter black. So this is actually navy, but believe this is a glitter black, but it looked dark enough that I thought it would go with. And then the last thing I'll show you is the Hannah American flag in red, white, and blue foil. Got these foil underlays a while ago, and I really, I think I originally was going to use them for the Olympics, and then I decided no, let me use them for the election. So I held on to them. I will say, like, whenever you're using a striped foil like this, if the stripe is not perfect with the rest of the boxes, it comes out a little funky. And you can see that it's actually on a slant compared to the rest of the boxes. So it was a little funny laying that stuff down on top of it. But overall, it gave it the effect that I wanted, and that was the point. So I filmed this lay down the base well into October, and then this part, I'm just speeding everything up a little bit. Um, this is an older format kit, so I did have just one washi strip on the bottom, and that was totally fine with me. You're going to see a lot more gesturing and pausing in this video than normal because I was doing a talk through for the original video, so just bear with me. um, this was a really tough week for me, you guys. Obviously, Kamala Harris did lose the election. We know that now. It was pretty devastating for me at the time, and her loss is coming at a very pivotal part of my life where my husband and I are going through a lot of, I work in special education, we're trying to start a family. There's a lot going on, and so it's a highly charged issue. And when she lost, I was in shock and horror, and I'm still kind of grieving everything that's happening. So forgive me if this video is a little sadder than usual, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. But I think it's important to record how you feel, especially if you wanted to go back and look at what was happening in history at that time. I think it's important to do that for yourself. So that's why I like to do these plan with me's. I do actually watch them on my own just to reminisce, and I think that's kind of fun. The quote boxes are very cool, I have to say, for Hannah for the custom quotes, especially if you're doing a scene. I think they're really fun and they fit perfectly, even with that little gap in the column. So definitely check those out. I was pointing out this art came out in 2019. So a lot of it is really more about like Black Lives Matter and all the other things that were happening at that time. And so I think this is, excuse me, 2020, not 2019. So, but some of it is still relevant. I made a comment in the original video that the red header over the top looks like an extension of the valence, and when I didn't use the red header for this other one, it looks kind of funny. It looks like the scene is shorter somehow. I don't know how that happened, but anyway. So I did decide to color block this week mostly because I didn't have enough flags to cover what I would use in a typical week, and this just made it a little bit easier for me to pull. I did have I made a lot of choices this week that I think are pretty typical for what I've been doing recently, and I like the color scheme of this. You have it's not just your traditional red, white, and blue. There's like teal in it, and I think that's kind of pretty. So these date covers are very busy, but effective. I ended up using a silver date cover to go with it because I thought it matched the tone of the kit better than gold. Um, so, and I was trying to figure out, do I use black? I don't have any date numbers with this kit, so I ended up using a Sadie Stickers advent calendar sort of wreath thing that I've held on to for a very long time. At this point, I'm just trying to use up my stickers. I think it's important to uh, divest your sticker collection whenever possible, especially because I keep buying stickers and I really shouldn't at this point. I have enough that I can be good for a very long time without any more. It's just fun. It's just a hobby of mine. But anyway, so this week was intense and hard. There were a lot of things going on for me besides the election this week. This is the week leading up to my birthday, so I was trying to kind of be happy and excited. I had two teacher work days this week. So that for most people, you'd hear that and go, oh, well, you didn't have to see students, so you weren't as busy. But in fact, I find that whenever I do have teacher work days, my week is actually busier because I have to try and make up. Well, I'm not required to make them up, but I have to try and make up the students that I missed. I'm usually writing reports or progress notes. And this particular week, I had to present in front of my whole department. And that was a little nerve-wracking because I've never done that before, but it was, I think, informative and helpful for people. So people did come up to me after I presented and just thanked me, and that was really nice. So I was trying to line up, you can see I'm trying to line up the underlays so that they're sort of matching. But as you can see, they kind of go off kilter, and so it looks a little funny. I did end up saving two of them, so I have that in my collection, and I'm just sort of explaining like the red was a little overfoiled for some reason. I'm not sure what was going on, but anyway, so then I had all of these different I had the dogs, which I ended up putting in, even though I think one of those dogs has since passed away. Sad. But then I had all this empty space and I didn't really have any full boxes to use. So I decided to actually do a traditional sidebar this week. So I put in two weekly trackers for medications and vitamins. And then I decided, let me just do a school header. So to mark the most important school things that I had going on that week. And then I also marked an important, which was just things that were happening. And then I put in a little flag there just to fill in the space. So overall, oh, and then I put in the deco. So I actually had a lot of deco because I had a lot left over from the previous time that I used this kit. And deco is actually really well done in this kit. Obviously, there's a lot of masks because this was 2020. But there were also Polaroids and buttons and campaign stickers. So I thought the variety in this was kind of cool. And I really appreciate the amount of work and detail that went into this kit. The fact that um, Andrea was able to leave the art up for 4 years and then have it still be relevant 4 years later. I mean, how many kits actually are? So that was kind of neat. The second half has a lot bigger deco in it. I like that scandal-looking wine glass with the popcorn. I was not drinking this week, which was kind of hard for me, but I actually did have one alcoholic beverage this week, but I didn't want to do it in sadness, so I did not drink on election day, which my friends were messaging me and they were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I am shotgunning Halloween candy, actually. That is what I was doing." So, um, but yeah. All right. So I think we're going to get into the day by day in just a moment. You'll also notice in the day by day, I am wearing a band-aid on my finger and I just cut my finger. So decided to cover that up rather than showcase it, but I'm sure the band-aid actually probably looks worse than the cut. Um, so you can see I'm kind of showing a little bit of the wiggle there, and this is when I was super hopeful and excited about the election, and here we are in present day. Okay, so on Monday, I did wake up feeling happy. I was in a really good mood. Part of that was because I didn't have a regular school day. I was also a little nervous because I was going to be presenting in front of my colleagues. That we were doing a fluency seminar, and I wanted to share information about Friends Who Stutter, which is a nonprofit organization that helps families and kids who stutter sort of connect and give them an opportunity to meet each other and talk about their stuttering, and it's really cool. So anyway, those are Once More with Love stickers, all three of them. Uh, After the assembly, I did do a lot of work because progress reports were in. Sorry for the shaky video, guys. I had to do a ton of progress reports and catch up on my session notes. I didn't mark it in my planner, but I also started watching the Martha documentary, which I thought was really well done. There was a lot I didn't know about Martha Stewart, and I was kind of a kid when all of this stuff was going on, and I wasn't really paying attention to a lot of it, but it was really fascinating. So that is on Netflix. So you should definitely check that out. And then I had this therapy sticker and I didn't want to use a flag because it was so big. So I just took one of the extra headers and put the little therapy script from Carly Plans, and that therapy sticker is from Stick with the Plan Co. And then the little audiobook is Lexington Flair. I just wrote that I finished Margot's Got Money Problems. It's a great book. Highly recommend you do the audio if you're going to read it. It's great. I think it's actually on the Goodreads Choice Awards this year too, so definitely worth a shot. So here we come to election day. This was a teacher work day because it was election day and a lot of schools were being used as polling places, so they gave us the day off to do work. I did mark just the little vote sticker that's from Fox and Pip from Once or Twice a Year, and I did go into the office. Nobody else was really there. My coworker had taken the day off, so I did session notes and I did a lot of progress reports and evaluation writing. I was trying to prep because I had five, count them, five IEPs the following day. And so I was trying to make sure that I had everything in place for all of those. Sort of out of anxiety, I did go to Target after work just to do some shopping. I ended up buying some Christmas decorations and Christmas stuff because they had started to put all of that out. I feel like in order to get the stuff that I need from Target, I have to shop exactly one season ahead. So, like for example, I started shopping for back to school stuff in July, and I started shopping for Halloween stuff in like August, September. So that's the way it goes. I was happy to see that Josh Stein won our governor, which he's blue, and our superintendent of education was also blue. So my husband and I stayed up really, really late. Like I think it was close to 11 o'clock before we went to bed. And they hadn't called North Carolina yet, but I knew I had a feeling that things were not going to go well. There were a lot of people out um, voting this year, which is always good. I think that's really important. Everybody needs to vote, but I was, I think I was in bed, right about to go to sleep when I saw that he won North Carolina. And once he won that, I was like, it's over. He definitely won the election. So, sure enough, the next morning, I woke up really early and he was reelected. And then I just poured myself into work. I had 5 IEP meetings back to back, some of them actually intertwined, so I had to leave one meeting to go to another meeting. It was crazy, and that was my whole day. I really didn't get to do any therapy. Um, I did do some grocery shopping. I went to Publix after work and got sushi for Sushi Wednesday. That sticker is from Carly Plans. And I did listen to a new audiobook narrated by Kate McKinnon. So that like cheered me a little bit. It was like the only thing that day that made me happy. But it was weird going to the grocery store and having somebody ask, like, how are you? And I just didn't know what to say. So I was definitely in my feelings. Um, and I was like curled up in the fetal position. I couldn't move. I didn't want to do anything after work. So it was just a really rough day. And then Thursday, I had to go back to work. So I did some session prep and I did do a lot of work. Just seeing students again was kind of weird because I hadn't seen them in 2 days. But I did do a speech language evaluation. I did do a lot of therapy, and we had a um, planning meeting as well, so that was kind of good. One of the other speech therapists was not in school this week, so I was like the only SLP. But that was fine. It didn't nothing any like nothing really came up. I did call my mom just to see how she was doing, and I gave her the Millicent Squibb book that Kate McKinnon had written on audio just to kind of cheer her up because I thought it was so good. I had a wax appointment at European Wax Center, which was already on the books, and then I went to Home Goods and Marshalls right after that, and I just kind of shopped around. I was kind of doing some birthday shopping, but ultimately I didn't end up getting anything. But it was a fun distraction, like just walking around the store, looking at all the Christmas stuff. There were a couple of like pet items that I wanted, like they had a Snoopy cat box, like a cat cardboard box that looked like Snoopy's doghouse that I thought was really cute, and I really wanted to use that, but I decided ultimately not to buy anything, which was probably good. Excuse me. And then I came home and watched, I can't remember what we watched. It was probably Parks and Recreation and maybe Peaky Blinders. It was it was crazy. It was just a really crazy week. Um, and then on Friday, um, I was very, very tired. I did not sleep well. I think I woke up like every 2 hours. I think it was just my feelings were bleeding into uh, the week. And so then I went to go take a shower, and it was kind of scary because as I was taking the shower, like a lot of my hair fell out, like a lot. And I read that this was a side effect of one of the medications I was taking, but I didn't know that it would be like that much. And so I low key I almost had a panic attack in the shower, which is like not where you want to have a panic attack. So that little ghost is from Carly Plans. But I did put on a set of press-on nails, just they were like Scorpio themed from Impress, and I just needed some self-care. I needed to look better. I needed to feel better, and uh, most of them kind of popped off, and I had to fix them later on. But and then I just listened to more Millicent Quibb, which is such a great book. You should definitely check that out. I just marked that I did a ton of work on Friday. I just had a lot of speech therapy. I finished my progress notes. I did my session notes, and I just worked really, really hard. I threw in a little I dissent sticker from the deco just because that's kind of how I was feeling on Friday. I was like so exhausted. I felt like a year had passed in the span of a week. But I did make this incredible frozen pizza from Publix that was like cauliflower with pork sage sausage and cranberry. Like it almost felt like Thanksgiving on a turkey or on a pizza rather, and it was really good. So that was fun, a fun surprise. On Saturday, I treated myself with an Amazon order and I made avocado toast And I did spend a lot of time researching sticker organization and just planners. I feel like I need to switch some things up with how I organize my stickers because they're kind of all over the place. I don't feel great about them, and my cats have decided that eating paper is fun. So that's been a new thing. I we decided that going out for my birthday on Saturday night was going to be the most practical and easiest for our schedule because then we could go out and have fun, and then we'd have a whole day the next day to recover. So we went to this incredible restaurant called Table 31, which was so good. I did have one alcoholic beverage. I had an aviation and it was delicious. And then we came home and it was my movie pick for the night. So I picked My Old Ass, which is on Prime Video. It's an indie film. It's so good. I really loved it. It made me smile. And again, anything that makes me smile this week is good. So on Sunday, and I treated Sunday like it was a Saturday because it was a 3-day weekend for me. So it was like having an extra Saturday all to myself, which was pretty great. I tried to sleep in. My version of sleeping in sounds a little different than some other people's versions of sleeping in. I get up most days at 5:30, sometimes 6. So to be able to sleep in until like even 6:30 is good. So I'll take it. But yeah, so those bunnies are the slippers are from Scribble Prints Co. And then the scripts and that icon, those are from the foil kit. That Kindle is from Carly Plans. I did read um, a Kate DiCamillo book on my Kindle called The Hotel Balthazar. It was really good, had a Wes Anderson feel to it, and that was Scooty. That's why the camera is shaking so much. He climbed up on the table while I was working. Um, my husband made these incredible pumpkin pancakes, and then we had this maple butter from Trader Joe's. It was so good together. It was just chef's kiss. It was perfect. So then on Sunday, I did a little bit of planning. So I used the script from the kit and the movie clicker to mark that I was recording. And then I did have an afternoon shower. That little ghost is from Carly Plans. Um, and then I did do some cleaning. I swept the kitchen and the living room. I've been having to do it more often. I mean, most people would probably say that's how often you should do it, but it just didn't take too long. I do it every day now. I did track my medication and my vitamins. I just marked that I had progress reports due, and then I used the deco from the kit to mark woeful results, which is pretty much what happened. Um, so yeah, that is the full spread. I'm going to show you the wiggle in just a moment. I think this came out really well considering what a crappy week it was. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for the next plan with me, and I hope you have a really good rest of your week. Take care.